that's a tremendous looking trophy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Platinum Explosion. We just got done watching the E3 conference. It was great. Every single person here joining you today loved that Sony conference and has nothing but good things to say about it.
Fake news.
Anyone laughing in the background is just fucking around. Everyone had a great time and it was great.
It was not.
Hey, Dylan.
We got a big cast today for the first time ever. We're going over the 4-character limit for Platinum Explosion. And joining alongside me is Ashley Hobley.
Hey, I'm Spider-Man.
Making his plat debut, your boy Ringo, Ciaran, and
He was here last
Spider-Man
episode.
March.
I was here last episode.
He was here
Oh,
to do
yeah,
the
he was
predictions.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man, I'm here.
Jack Cruz.
Plat.
And the biggest fan of VR, Nicholas.
It's your boy.
VR.
In VR.
Briar.
Nick needs to
All right.
change his Twitter name to @VR.
Sony. E3. Conference. Let's just start this way. We're going to go round table. You're going to rank that motherfucker out of 5. Ready? Off top of your head. Ash, bam.
3.
Ciaran.
3.5.
I didn't know we were
Jack.
going to do points.
That for me was a 1.8.
Oh.
Nicholas.
Oh.
4.
3.5. Dun, 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 dun.
End the
Because
show
I like
there.
to hear. I love to hear negative Nancy's the most. Jack, please just get it out of your system. You're busting at the balls to complain about this fucking show.
Oh,
Why was it shit?
I mean, there was just, you compare everything against, last year's conference, right? So in 2015, Sony had a great conference coming off the 2014 conference, and they had an even better conference last year coming off the 2015 conference. And this year, they pretty much just showed all the games they revealed last year with some gameplay. Like, there was nothing in that was like, I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. I can't believe they announced that. I'm like sitting there and waiting, like, what's Sucker Punch doing? Like, what's
It's
going on?
great, isn't it?
No, well, great.
It's good for them to wait to actually fucking announce games after they actually get some out before they announce more.
Yeah. No, I understand it from that point of view. But for like an E3 press conference, when you're waiting for like big announcements, this is where someone waiting for like, all right, this is where you announce the new things, the big things, and the biggest new thing that they announce on that is like, I don't know, Monster Hunter, I guess, a Shadow of the Colossus remake. Like, okay, we'll get that probably in a decade. Like, righto. It's just, I don't know. I was disappointed. I was waiting for like, I'm excited. I'm like, they're going to show something new. We're going to see what these devs that we hadn't heard from for a while are going to be doing. Maybe there's a Order sequel. Maybe we're seeing what Sucker Punch is doing. And it was pretty much the same like second half of the conference from last year. I get that it's like, oh, it's great. Yeah, they didn't announce stuff that we're not going to see forever, but they didn't really announce anything of any like real note. Where like Monster Hunter is great for people that love Monster Hunter. Yay. Shadow is great for people that are willing to wait another decade for a Shadow. Like, great. Skyrim VR, I guess, if that's what you're into. If you haven't played it 17 times already, great. But where was something new, something exciting? Everything else was just sort of, there was some VR games, great. Majority of people that have PS4s don't own VRs. So again, that's sort of, there was nothing that was like, there was no wow moment. There was no, that's great.
Opposite end of the spectrum, Nick. High score.
Yeah.
Why? And the important question to also cover, apart from why did you like it so much, is are you or are you not selling VR?
I am not selling VR. I was sold on it
succeeded.
before the conference even started.
Sony wins E3.
It was super hot.
Super hot.
Doom VR, and now Skyrim VR, that Bravo team game. Even the Supermassive one, is it the Inpatient
And
or
Final
something?
Fantasy Fishing.
Impatient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Until Dawn game.
Is it? No, I don't think it's Until Dawn.
The Impatient.
Yeah, the one in the Asylum is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, one of them was.
You sure?
No,
I
it's,
just saw
Yeah, because
it's called The Impatient, but it's about the sanatorium that was in Until Dawn because they had a picture of it show up in like black and white.
Oh,
so it's
okay, I
about the
missed that.
sanatorium like back when it was running and in full function.
Yeah, that's why it's like in the 50s,
Okay,
presumably.
yeah.
Like by the time you play Until Dawn, it's closed down. And
Yeah,
haunted,
that
whatever,
got me real excited. I mean, because I really loved Resident Evil 7 in VR, and I want more horror experiences like that. And that Bravo Squad is what I've wanted from VR from the get-go.
You don't think it looks like Time Crisis,
No, it's
which you
like,
were complaining about the other week? No.
I don't remember that.
Just straight up deny it. Yeah.
No,
Attaboy.
Cue the
I'll listen
audio.
back. But yeah, even the other stuff they showed, it just got me more hyped for the stuff that's coming. And I don't need a new announcement or a game release this year because there's so many more exclusive third-party games coming out this year that I know I'm probably not going to have time for the first parties when they come out, if they came out this year.
Yep. I'm with Nick. They literally just showed me a bunch of games I was already pretty much excited for. Got me re-excited for them, reinvigorated. They got me more hyped for VR stuff again. Like, here's a bunch of VR games. Even before the show started, they're like, here's some VR games. VR games are coming. Here's Super Hot. Other things worth pointing out, of course, is that I was already going into the conference. I was like, I'm having a good time because in the pre-show, they showed a fucking awesome Crash Bandicoot trailer that showed me that you can play as Coco in Crash Bandicoot 2, and I'm like, fuck yes. They showed a Knack trailer, fuck yes. They said Undertale's coming to PS4 and Vita, fuck yes. Super Hot's coming to VR, yes. And then they start the conference, they're like, here's Days Gone. This looks fucking amazing. Like, I don't need a Last of Us 2 trailer, like, in the same conference where I got 10 to 15 minutes of Days Gone gameplay.
Speaking of, that
looked
looked fucking phenomenal.
Amazing. Yeah, like the amount of... I can't get over, like I'm thinking about now, like the amount of zombies that you see there, just like running in the screen and...
It's a technical master.
Yeah, it must be.
Where-
It must be what. Yeah,
Yeah.
it must be what's taken them so long to get it just to be able to run smoothly like that with that many moving parts sort of going on at the same time.
Especially if it's like an open world as well. So you're expecting.
Yeah. Proper
Gonna be-
open world, yeah.
Yeah.
So, would I have liked some big wow moment? Sure. Maybe one would have been great, and I would have been like super amped. But overall, that was just a great conference that I enjoyed. Ciaran, what do you like? What did you like?
I think overall I like it. I have this really weird relationship with Sony and Microsoft where I'm like a kid with divorced parents. So like
Shit, that just got dark.
it just got dark. No. So let's say it's Christmas. I went to Microsoft's house first, and they gave me a lukewarm present, and I was like, man, it's okay. I'm going to Sony's house. They're gonna have a great present for me when I get to their place. And I get there, and it's good. It's good, but it's not like the absolute smashing
You
it
got
out
the
of the park
knockoff
that I
instead
was
of the-
hoping for.
the-
Like,
Authentic one.
I think a trend that's
So you're a
happened
spoiled
throughout
brat.
E3. I am a spoiled little shit. Yeah, that's right. I think
That's
the
the
trend
takeaway.
that's happened. The trend that's happened for me this E3 is I feel like conferences haven't ended the way that I thought they would end, or like not I thought, but they hadn't ended. Like I think I would be a lot more hyped if they'd ended on Days Gone. If they had switched the positions of Days Gone and Spider-Man
And
around
Spider-Man.
and
They did
finished
that
on
last
Days
year.
Gone.
Yeah.
But that
True.
Days Gone was amazing. Like that trailer was so good. And if I'd left feeling how I felt when I was watching Days Gone, I probably would have had a better memory of the Sony conference than I do, if that makes sense.
Let's talk about that Spider-Man trailer since you've brought it up. Let's cover this real quick.
yeah.
To me, it was fine. I wasn't like super. I mean, at the start of it, I'm watching it. I'm like, it looks like a Spider-Man game. Cool.
Yeah, it looked like
And then-
Shattered Dimensions with the up in the rafters and that kind of thing, the stealth stuff.
Yeah, there was nothing happening in that gameplay that I wasn't like, oh, this just looks like cool Spider-Man. I need to see way more to be like I need to see more than just that to get pumped about a Spider-Man game. I mean, I'm already excited just based on the developer stuff. Plus, there was like way too many quick time events for my
the quick
liking.
time-
Question for you, Dylan. Did watching that make you less excited than you already were?
No, because I was already just like mediocre because I'm not.
Oh, you're not a big Spidey
Spider-Man
dude?
fan.
So
I'm
I'm-
only excited from the fact that Insomniac's doing it, not really as a Spider-Man game.
See, I thought it was like a really great trailer, but I was like watching that going. I'm like, okay, I'm still excited for it. It's still probably the game that I'm most excited for that's like in the pipeline, but it sort of, I don't know, it made me feel a little bit less excited because I was like, okay, I'm like you said, nothing that you wouldn't expect from a Spider-Man game, and I'm like, it didn't ring like it was an Insomniac game. It rang like it was a Spider-Man game, which is fine, but I was waiting for that. And they had a little bit of it with the little gadgets and stuff that he had, but I was waiting for this sort of something that made me feel like it was an Insomniac game, which it didn't really come through. It looked great. Looks like it plays great. Looks like it's going to be heaps of fun, but I don't know. It wasn't like... I was like, okay, it's Spider-Man.
So
I
what
think
could
my
they
biggest
have,
thing is
what could they have done different? Like what were you expecting from a Spider-Man game?
I wasn't expecting anything. That's the thing. It's just a weird... I can't really explain why or how I'm feeling the way that I am about it. It was just the vibe of it. I was like, I don't know. I guess maybe I set my expectations too high with it, and when it came, I was like,
Maybe.
clearly I did. But it came out, and like it's fine. I'm like, great. It looks Spider-Man, and I'm just like, okay. I'm just sort of, I don't know. It was great. It was probably. I think I must have set my expectations too high and expecting this amazing looking. It looked like the Spider-Man games that we got on PS3. Is I guess what I'm getting at. It didn't sort of feel like it was a next leap in like amazing, whatever.
I think as well for us, and Dylan, you mentioned this during the conference. As a superhero fans or fans of the superhero genre, we've been spoilt by the Arkham series.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time with superhero games now where you instantly compare it to Arkham. Without even thinking about it, you instantly
Well,
like...
that's the golden standard.
That's
now.
yeah,
That
well,
is
that's
the
the
golden
yardstick, isn't it?
standard. And that's almost a problem because I think if we hadn't had Arkham and we saw that Spider-Man game, we would have lost our minds. We would have been like, wow, that fighting style's so fluid, it's so awesome, like the Spidey sense stuff happens and it all seems like it's all in one. But because of we've had Arkham, like one of the first things, Dylan's like, it's very, very Arkham with how like
They're lighting up and
the
stuff,
enemies are lighting up red when they're attacking. And I think with that we've been spoilt a bit too much with Arkham, but I don't know how I feel about them using a brand new villain for it.
Yeah.
With it, I think that's what's made me a little bit cool off on it because I was super hyped when Kingpin was in it because I love Kingpin and I love Spider-Man's interactions with Kingpin. And then when they had a new hero, which I understand Insomniac's trying to put their own new villain when Insomniac's trying to put their own stamp on it, I don't connect with that villain or I don't have any forepoint for it. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they use him. I think maybe he's be the overall villain through the whole story, and then they'll have like the main big villains as like boss battles through the story instead of having one overarching. One of them as the overarching villain.
Yeah, like
don't
you fight
think he'll
Rhino,
be the
you
big
fight
bad.
Shocker.
Yeah.
What was that?
you
Sorry,
don't think
Nick?
he's going to be the big bad?
I don't think he's going to be the big bad. I don't think they would have shown him if he was going to be the big bad.
Maybe.
Especially-
so do you think it'll swing around
especially
and
if
it'll be Kingpin or?
I'd possibly. It's not beyond the realm of shit. But yeah, like if you're trying to find out who he is, like we don't know how late that is in the game. I don't think they'll show it if he was like the big bad.
You would assume pretty early because he didn't even know who he was fighting at that time. That sort of seemed like it was like
Well,
he-
like
he
a 2
knew
to
who
3
he
missions
was.
in
Like-
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew who the guy was, but he got there and he was like surprised that it was him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Well,
these
he knows
demons, who do
that
they work
person
for?
in the comics? So
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But like when he got there in the thing, he was like, "What are you like? What are you doing?" Like he was sort of surprised to see him. So it's obviously that to me rang like it was a 2-3 mission. Like you do a tutorial mission, and then these demon guys are beating people up, and then the demon guys are at this warehouse. I'll go there, and then so on and so forth. You're there in that mission.
yeah.
All right.
If it's just an Arkham game with a Spider-Man skin over it, I'll be happy.
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
I'll be
that's
honest,
fair
I'll
enough.
weld up.
You weld up.
And those,
Spider-Man.
that web slinging stuff, that was awesome.
Oh, I got a
I
half
didn't know.
jump.
Are you a big Spider-Man fan, Nick?
Yeah, I'm a massive Spider-Man fan. My whole life, he's always been my favourite superhero. And to get something like
There
this
you go.
has
The
just
more you know.
made me happy.
Nick's
I love
just
it.
Nick's just one of the
I
guys
love
in the
it.
cranes.
I love it.
Nick is a fan.
Nick is a
Nick is a fan.
He
It
likes
finally
Spider-Man.
happened. Hey, Spider-Man.
Hey,
And they had to have the
Spider-Man.
cranes in there, didn't they?
They
Oh, the
did.
cranes.
Shout out to cranes.
I would have loved to
All
have
right.
seen the kind of
Ash.
funny react to that.
Yeah.
Ash,
Yes.
what did you love? What did you hate? What was your favorite thing?
Spider-Man. Yeah, so Spider-Man.
Pick something else.
Spider-Man.
The Shadow Colossus remake.
Yeah,
I mean,
Boo.
Yeah.
That was a shocker.
I'm
nobody
fucking
saw that
so
coming.
hyped for that.
And
really
yeah,
good.
it looks as beautiful as I could have thought they'd do. Because the HD remake for PS3 was like still pretty blocky and pixely.
It was just an up-res.
Yeah.
The problem
There
with
you go.
Looks
the
like they've
original
done, like-
Shadow of the Colossus was the controls are fucked.
Yeah, they'll need to
Yeah.
fix that. I'd love
Well,
if they
Blue
didn't.
Point's doing it. They did.
They
the,
will.
They just kept the exact same control scheme.
maybe
That would make
Blue
me
Point's
happy.
doing it. So they did the Nathan Drake collection, which was
Yeah.
well received. So hopefully
And-
they've
But
improved
they're
a
a
couple
port,
of
like they're a
things.
port, like they're a port.
They're
Like
really good at doing
developer.
ports. They've
And
done
the
They're
Metal
great at
Gear
doing
one
ports.
too.
the Metal
Yeah,
Gear.
yeah, they did the Metal Gear. That's what. But they have. I don't think they've done like a from scratch game. Like there's like ports, up res, sort of tweaking and stuff. They've never done like.
yeah,
And this
they found
to
their
me
niche.
looks. This to me looks like it's sort of it's the same, but it's not. It's like it's the same sort of thing as in they're remaking a game that came out ages ago, but it looks like it's a remake rather than a port. It looks like it's a complete from the ground up sort
It,
of thing.
it looks
they've
as
announced
much
that
as
it's
a
a remake.
remake as the Crash.
Yeah.
It looks as much as a remake as the Crash is a remake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Crash is from a ground up remake.
Yeah, exactly.
This is from a ground
Yeah,
up remake.
which is
But at the
different to
same
what
time,
they've
they're
done in the past.
Yeah, but it's still like they're working off blueprints that already exist.
They made
Blue Point.
Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2, so they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not discounting Blue Point are great, but it's a stray off from what they've been doing recently. So
I'll stream. Jack was yelling that this game will never come out, to which I argue against. I'm pretty sure we'll see.
We will definitely see it before the end of the decade.
It had a
bet.
date for 2018, didn't it?
It said 20.
No, it just said 2018.
I-
I guarantee this will
I'll
come
bet
out
you.
next
I'll
year.
bet you
What's
dinner, Dylan. I'll bet you dinner. If that game comes out in 2018, I will fly to Tasmania and buy you dinner. If the game
Alright.
if the game does not come out in 2018, you're flying to Melbourne and buying me dinner.
All right.
Keep track of that, Jaden.
My biggest
Lock
thing
it in.
Virtual handshake.
is with that, was there, as with something you mentioned, date, was there not enough dates? Was it almost too much?
Well, there wasn't.
Like,
It was all just like early 2018,
2018, late
2018, or just
2018.
nothing. There was no like solid. What
I
did
understand
was there a
that
date for
the-
Days Gone? There was no,
No.
date.
No, there wasn't.
There was nothing at all for Days
2018.
Gone, nothing at all for Detroit. Now, I understand that they're trying to stray away from dates because nobody likes being pushed back or whatever.
Yeah.
But as a fan, I still want some,
want some-
dates.
Which would you prefer?
Concrete, yeah.
Would you prefer to be treated like a child and just get a date and lied to? Like they're like,
Yes,
well,
I like
it
being
probably
lied to.
won't come out.
I think,
but we'll just put a date anyway.
Gamers should be mature enough to understand that things do happen and games get pushed back.
Yeah, and they
That's
have
a
to
very
set dates
idealistic
for
way to look at it.
It is.
And a big part of it is that the dates that they set a lot of the time are for their investors and things, and they have to set dates, even if they know it's not realistic. They have to have things in the pipeline for their quarterly sort of investor meetings and that kind of thing. So it's a lot of the time it's not so much, it's going to come out this day and then it's delayed. It's more they're sort of trying to keep the investors happy.
So they must be pretty confident if they're not giving us any dates.
But at the same time, it frustrates me more that a game has a super vague date, like a super vague period of time it can come out with,
2018.
than it does to have a point. Because even if something gets pushed back, I don't mind as much because if it's only going to get pushed back like 2-3 months, like it's not going to be huge. Where in 2018, I have no idea what's going on. Like that could easily turn into 2019 very quickly.
Absolutely.
True.
Absolutely.
True. But I mean, I quite prefer. I'd rather them do it this way.
I agree.
personally. I'd rather
No
them
dates.
just be like. I'd rather them just be like 2018. Like they could be having meetings going. Well, it might come out March. maybe end of March it should be ready. But instead of just putting the March date on it and then pushing it a month or two because they don't end up doing it, they're just like 2018 instead of just like. Wait, don't give me the date until you're actually 100% sure.
See, the
I don't
thing
wanna
is
know.
with Sony
Don't
too
care.
is they don't have the imperative to announce and say this is coming out now, like Xbox does. How they're so far behind, like they're still
Yeah.
selling consoles on third party. They don't have.
They have been.
Yeah, well,
pretty much.
that's another interesting thing about this conference is that, like, the lack of first party announcements.
Those first
isn't
pasties.
like, isn't that big of a deal? Because this year there's a lot of third party games coming out, and once again, Sony's quite happy just to
Right off the
kind of
coattails.
sit back and be like, you know what? We're the number one console, and everyone's going to buy all these third-party games on our console anyway. So
Yeah, they might
have
as well
all the
take
big-
it.
I don't think that lackadaisical like way of doing it. I don't know. It doesn't hype me as a fan. Like,
No, but that's the thing is you'll keep buying the games because the games are coming out. I get why they're doing it because they're going, all right, we've got this lead. We're not in danger of, the games are selling because the consoles are out there now. They've got the install base. We can take extra time with our exclusives rather than putting them out. And like they did in the think about the PS3 era. You had games like Starhawk was coming out, and the Puppet one, and they had every month, every couple of months there was a PS3 exclusive, and they were all bombing, and studios were closing one after the other. Seems like they're being a bit smarter with it now, and they don't need to be smashing out all these exclusives because they know, hey, we've got Last of Us, we've got Spider-Man, we've got these things that people will buy. We've got Horizon now, so
And they have the endorsement of the biggest third-party franchises of FIFA, Destiny, and COD. The three biggest
absolutely.
selling third parties, yeah.
And they've got things like MLB The Show as well is nothing to sneeze at. That's an annualized thing that comes out, which we don't pay
That's
attention
Sony
to because none of us are
first
baseball
party too,
fans. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so they've got that is
MLB,
yeah. That is an exclusive that comes out every year, which sells extremely well.
hotcakes. Yeah. I think it's worth pointing. Like the reason I really thought there might be a chance of there being like a Spyro announcement or a Crash Team Racing thing is because I actually think that Sony's like looked at the pre-order numbers for that Crash remaster, and they're going like, holy fuck. So I seriously wonder if they're like, even if the pre-order numbers for that, they're like, we've got this game coming out at the end of the month that's like it's going to sell like gangbusters. Which is really weird because it's not like a first party new IP.
It's a nostalgia. It's a nostalgia thing. A lot of people are into it because of that, and they're putting a lot in it. There's a lot of it's not just the game that's coming out. There's a lot of merch and stuff. There's a big investment going behind this game. So I think this will be the. We spoke about it on an earlier episode, but this will be the measuring stick for Spyros and things like that, and whether a Sly thing comes out or whatever. Like, this will determine whether we get a CTR and a Spyro collection and all that. How the whole thing goes. Do people buy the merch and the game, or does the game sell okay, or sort of how does that go?
I think it goes against them too, being the measuring stick, because arguably Crash was the biggest name of all those type anyway. So if they're going the biggest out of the gate, the other ones only aren't going to perform as well, in my opinion.
I wouldn't say Crash is the biggest.
I would.
What
What would you say is
people
bigger
love Crash,
in that?
But
Spyro.
Well, I think the biggest one out of that lot would have been, well, what are we considering that group is? Because I would have considered Ratchet and Clank as the biggest.
Yeah.
I
Ratchet
was
Clank
more
and
going
Jack and
PS1, like a platformer type mascot. thing.
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
PS1.
I think as a whole, you'd say Ratchet as a whole, only because of the amount of games. But I think if you just go purely on imagery and nostalgia and what do you think PlayStation, what do you think Crash, if you ask like the general gamer, like not even the general gamer, but a person who had a PS1, PS2, doesn't really game much anymore, maybe buys COD and FIFA or whatever once a year, and you go PlayStation, what's the first thing that comes to your head? Like Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Crash was
I
the
don't-
mascot for PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't think anyone goes Ratchet and Clank or even like Sly Cooper. Do you know what I mean? Or Sweet Tooth. Like it's Ratchet. I mean, not Ratchet. Sorry, it's Crash. Crash is the OG as far as that goes.
So talking about the whole lack of first party stuff coming out this year, it is worth pointing out that they, although don't have big first party games releasing this year, They have Uncharted: The Lost Legacy coming out
Yeah.
in just a couple of months.
That'll be dope.
Which is going to be huge, and that's basically an entire new Uncharted
Have they
game.
priced that yet?
People keep forgetting. Yeah, it's like 60, 70
Yeah.
bucks or
Sweet.
something
Awesome.
like that.
Yeah.
And it's also then worth pointing out that they announced Horizon expansion DLC, which is coming out this year.
Story
unless they put
DLC.
the wrong fucking date on it. It said 2017.
Did.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that
So,
they would have made that at the same time they made the game. So I have no doubt.
And Horizon sold very well.
Like 3.5
and it got
very well.
reviewed very well. So in a world where you're releasing an expansion, huge DLC to Uncharted 4, which is like one of the biggest games of the generation, and when you're going to release DLC to your biggest game of the year, Horizon, which is fucking one of the best reviewed and selling games of the year, probably, do you need like actual new games, especially if both DLCs are nearly like 20-hour experiences,
would've
like
liked
if the
one.
Horizon DLC is?
I think one. Yeah, I think we just.
I
needed
would like one
something.
because 2018 is going to be a massive year for
Oh yeah.
first party if all the games they've announced for 2018 come out in 2018.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be
Exactly.
huge. And do you really need 1 year to be that big?
Why? What's coming? So you get Days Gone.
God
so
of War.
Days Gone doesn't have a Days Gone never had a date.
God of
We
War.
got God of War,
So God of
Spider-Man,
War,
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
Yep.
Colossus.
What was it? Let me get up a list. Colossus, and then
I'm not counting. 'Cause Shadow of Colossus is a remake. I'm just going to put that on
Got
June 30
Detroit,
like Crash.
which was undated.
Yeah,
Detroit was
Detroit.
undated.
Detroit's
Detroit is not
coming
coming
out
out.
2021.
Detroit's
no,
not coming out next
Knack
year.
2
Knack 2.
Knack 2's this year.
It's
is
Knack
this
2
year.
is September.
It's September.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
that's
so
one
there's
then.
your first
Every-
party.
There's one.
Done.
There's the first party.
It's your boy.
It's your boy, Knack.
Isn't Last of Us?
Year of
was
dreams,
Last of Us dated?
motherfuckers.
Was Last of Us dated as 2018?
No, that's never.
No.
No, The Last of Us is
Last
not
of Us
coming
is a
out
while
until
away.
PS5.
Yeah, true.
Death
To be
Stranding.
honest,
No, that's,
everyone keeps
Are you happy
everyone
Death
keeps
Stranding
forgetting
wasn't
about
shown?
Knack as well.
I
thank
reckon
fuck
they'll
for that.
announce Bloodborne 2 at PAX. RTX. No, what's the
At PAX.
PlayStation one?
PSX.
What
PSX.
They're playing- yeah,
do you
that's the one.
reckon?
they announced
Do you
PSX
reckon, or
dates
do
as
they-
well.
How about if they announce it at TGS?
No, it's bigger
Why
in
would
the
they
West than it
announce
is
it
in
at
the
TGS
East.
though?
TGS is Japanese, too Japanese for.
Like, I
Two
would-
Japanese for Bloodborne?
Yeah,
for an
no, I
announce-
would've
yeah,
thought
for a mainstream and a game like that, yeah.
there'll be a
absolutely.
massive Monster Hunter thing at TGS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Was-
surprised they
was
didn't
Monster
save. I'm surprised
Hunter-
they didn't save.
Is Monster Hunter an exclusive? Did it say that was?
It didn't.
I was trying to find out. I could not find details. But it would be weird for them to show a 5 to 10 minute trailer about Monster Hunter if it wasn't exclusive.
Wasn't it only
I'm
Musha?
surprised they. Wasn't it
It's
what?
fucking long. Is what
I'm
it was.
surprised that there was no Battlefront because Battlefront, the first Battlefront that came to PlayStation 4, they had a really good relationship with Sony.
What
And
could they?
To be
what
honest-
Looks
could
like
they
it's
have
coming.
shown?
Monster Hunter's coming
Did
to
we
Sony
need?
first.
Did we need more?
Story trailer.
We could have had a
is what
story trailer.
all
We
I
could have had
wanted.
the VR mission if there's a VR mission with it. Like,
Yeah. The only thing they should have shown at the Sony conference would have been a story trailer because at EA they showed like 15 seconds of story mode and the rest of it was all multiplayer. So, but given that, at the EA conference they also showed half an hour of match. So how much more Battlefront do we really need?
that's true.
Yep.
There's also a big list of games that weren't shown. Like, Shadow of the Tomb Raider hasn't appeared anywhere, which worries me
Yep.
a bit.
I'm fine, don't care.
Square
It's
Enix
not
doing
the
it? They're not doing a conference this year, are they?
No.
No, Square Enix
No.
don't really do conferences, do they?
No,
They
I think they do it
one
at
live.
There was-
TGS.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake was not mentioned again.
Yep. Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought it?
That shit ain't cut. That shit ain't been shown for ages.
Especially after the
That
changes they
shit
made
ain't not
recently.
been shown. Yeah, like they switched who's in charge right now. So
that game's doomed.
Hey, it's
I don't know.
episodic.
I think-
What could go wrong?
Sony's like less reliant on showing. I don't know.
What-
We haven't heard about what's the fuck is it called?
Shenmue
whatever
3.
that fucking game is. Shenmue 3.
Oh my
for
God.
ages either.
What is going on there?
Did that even get funded on
which probably
Kickstarter?
won't
Well,
come
it
out
got
for-
delayed. That's what happened. They delayed
got
it 12
funded.
months.
Got kickstarted.
Yeah. It started. It's happening. So I don't know.
We haven't talked about this. What did we all think of God of War?
It looks like God of War. It looks beautiful.
I don't think it looks like God of War at all.
No,
I don't think it looks like God of War at
No,
all. I
it's
think
a lot
if you-
slower
I think if you
paced
change the
and-
character skin of Kratos, I have no idea.
It does not, because like God of War was never directly behind Kratos' third-person game. It was a camera angle,
was like
hack
a-
and slash.
This
Yeah,
is more
but
slow,
I mean,
slower and more methodical than what
It's
God of
Like
War
it wasn't
was.
just like spinning out of control and like weapons everywhere. He seemed to have
Yeah.
the whole one weapon for the entire
I think with this
thing.
one, you have to be a lot more careful and timely with your attacks and when and where you press your opportunity and whatnot.
Also, to point out for our Platinum Explosion audience, the Explosion Network has called the Year of the Serpent is this year.
Yes.
Yep.
It is
The
Giant
year-
snakes
Big
everywhere.
snakes.
Giant snakes were everywhere. I think there were 3 in the Sony.
3 in this
alone.
conference. Yeah.
There's one in my
Assassin's Creed
pants.
has 1 million.
When he said he welled up, he wasn't talking about his
built up
eyes. And my penis welled up when they were when they talked about Spider-Man. Bit of semen.
One-eyed
going.
trouser snake.
You know a game coming out later this year that everyone keeps forgetting that's a Sony exclusive, as far as we know so far. It's your boy Danganronpa 3.
Oh yeah,
It's a PS4 Vita
I'm
game.
excited for that.
Yeah. No surprise
Does
that
that
wasn't
not count
mentioned.
for
Fuck knows,
anything?
yeah. No, that counts, Dylan. On the money.
Thank you.
Spot on, Bevan.
On the. I don't know what you guys want from me between that and the other thing.
Do you think we've just been spoiled the last couple of years and that's why...
I think so.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
the last 2
Yes.
years have been so big. There does have to be a point where they have to stop announcing games. There's honestly the point where they need to stop announcing stuff and start bringing stuff out. But yeah, I think we just had that sweet memories of the last 2 years that may have affected our view on this year's.
What did you?
Here's what I think. They're building us. They're bringing us down. They have to
easing
bring
us-
us down to bring us back up.
Yeah.
We can't.
Oh, yeah.
We can't have that.
Can't
we
stay
have an
hyped every
E3.
year.
Yeah, we can't have an E3 like that. The Final Fantasy VII announcement one. We can't have an E3 like that again until they bring us back down, and they're bringing us back down to earth.
In regards to the announcements, it was metering, but the spectacle of it was phenomenal. The
Oh, with
waterfall,
the Days Gone?
the music, the hanging actors.
Days Gone with the guys hanging up. Yeah.
Yeah, the water, it was just all. It was a visual spectacle.
It would have been pretty cool to be there in the room.
Yeah,
Microsoft has a Porsche.
that,
You what?
Microsoft had a Porsche.
They had
Oh,
a
of
Porsche.
course.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Porsche, sorry.
Porsche.
Look,
Porsche, as they say.
I'm not gonna. For some, for fanboy sakes, everyone likes to argue between it's always just between Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony, whoever won the conference. But I mean,
Ubisoft.
my best E3 conference. Let's do that. Because it's last week we added in some non-Sony stuff, so let's just continue it on this week. Let's go around and just say what everyone's favorite actual conference is, or news coming out of what outlet if you didn't watch all the conferences. So my favorite one is probably Ubisoft, with Bethesda just behind it, because Ubisoft showed a lot of most of the games they showed I was hyped for. They showed me a fucking Raving Rabbits game that makes me want to get a Switch, which is fucking weird as old shit. I have no idea. I felt emotions I never understood.
He started.
I had to
He
cry in a-
started with talking
I
so
had to
much
cry in a
crap.
corner
Yep.
later. I was like,
Talking
this
so
game looks
much
so
crap.
shit.
Turned around in
Yeah,
9
for-
minutes.
For 10 minutes, I'm like, this game's going to be fucking garbage. And then they showed me gameplay, and I was like, wow, guys, maybe I want to Switch.
He's
all
like,
of a
he
sudden,
just sold me a Switch.
this is weird. I don't know what to tell you. Far Cry looked great. Assassin's Creed looked great. And then they announced Beyond Good and Evil 2, which is, to me, out of all of E3 this year, the big... Yes, finally. That's my
Yeah,
big...
that
I'm not
was
letting
the
him
moment
my
get my
big
hopes
of
up.
E3.
I'm not
That's
letting-
my big hype moment is Beyond Good and Evil 2. So Ubisoft for me, and Bethesda's showing was just an all-round, very quick, here's a bunch of games you probably knew were coming, but they got sick trailers conference. So, Nick?
I haven't seen Ubisoft yet, but I would say Sony is my number one so far, and Devolver was just something else. That's my number two.
Oh yeah, if you want to count Devolver's conference was the best. It was
They
hilarious.
didn't actually announce any games.
No. They're so
They
good.
garnered a fuckload of goodwill, though, didn't they?
Oh dear.
Earliest
Jack?
access.
It would have Wolfenstein. I mean, that was pretty much the highlight for me so far. Is the game I knew / hoped was coming was there. Evil Within, I was sort of 50-50 on. That conference ending with those two, that was good enough for me. That whole thing. So, yeah, Wolfenstein, the outstanding, like what's the word I'm looking for? The runaway sort of highlight for me was that.
Fair enough. Ciaran?
I would have to say Xbox One X being sold at $499.95.
That's your high
Sorry,
point.
what?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's,
Sorry,
what
what?
a
That
terrible
sounds like a
price.
lie.
Oh,
That
sorry,
sounds like a
you're
lie.
cutting out.
I'm cutting out. I mean, no. I think whatever drugs Bethesda's on, keep on them.
It's
Because-
because we see them take it.
I think both my highlights are both of the big game trailers that they showed in their conference. So Wolfenstein I really enjoyed. I was a bit, why are you having a conference? But Wolfenstein I enjoyed. But I really, really enjoyed the Evil Within 2 trailer. Like, I'm actually going to go buy Evil
The first
Within.
one.
The
and play
Yeah, me
cinematics
too.
were great, but the
Me too.
gameplay didn't sell me.
I didn't. Did we see much gameplay in that trailer?
I
though?
thought it
didn't
was.
look like that
It
much.
looked exactly the same
The
as the first
gameplay
one.
they showed was just shoot.
Yeah, but what are they going to show in a
the
hype
trailer-
trailer? Him plodding through a hallway quietly, like they need to show the action in those sorts of things. It looked exactly. The action looked exactly the same as the first game to me.
Yeah, well,
The
the
trailer
first
for
game didn't
Evil
sell me,
Within
so-
2 sold me on the first game. So
Yeah.
What was that, Dylan?
the trailer for Evil Within 2 made me want to go play the first one.
Yeah, it's a good game. It was a really good
Sorry.
game. The story's a bit all over the fucking place, but it's a good. It's a
And the
great
trailer for
atmospheric
this-
game.
And the trailer for number 2 was not all over the place. Like,
It was trippy as all fucking
It was
balls.
so
That's why I want to
confusing.
play it.
there was some trippy games that were shown at this E3. Like, even some of the Microsoft ones, there was the guy with the guitar that was like playing
Oh,
music
yeah.
to make things happen, and
I tell
Yeah.
you what, that Blade Runner pixel art one looks fucking great.
Yes,
Looks
that
really
one.
good.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Was
that-
it Live Free Tonight? Or
Yeah, something like that. Something
Yeah,
last
I
night.
think
The last night.
even though we're frustrated with people are frustrated with the amount of AAA titles, there was a lot of games at E3 this year.
Oh, yeah,
like there's
Metro.
a
Yeah.
lot
Oh.
shown. Metro looks cool. There was like 40 something games at the Xbox conference. That's awesome. Like, keep it going.
So
Let's keep going.
and two
Ash.
of them were Xbox games.
you're not Ash.
Or
I
am
think it was
I?
3.
I wish I was Ash.
Yeah, I'd say probably Sony or Ubisoft. They're pretty close.
Yeah.
There were a couple of missteps, I think. They just poor placement of different things. And that Assassin's Creed bit where they showed it over the shoulder onto the monitor, that was pretty woeful.
Oh, the sun.
When
yeah,
they were
that
previewing
was-
the stream afterwards.
Yeah. You know what? Overall, though, for E3, usually there's a bunch of corny moments, and usually I can expect like a 10-minute video. You know, Dr. Caffeine and whatever the fuck else. There was none of that shit this year. There was no awkward presenter moments. There was no.
Oh, there was a bit
bad
in the
technical
Microsoft conference where.
difficulties, but-
Oh no, it was the EA conference with one of the YouTube guys. It was like
Oh,
super
yeah.
awkward.
Oh yeah.
Come
Yeah,
race
but-
cars in Need for Speed.
I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Esports,
That was
man.
funny, but overall, I thought this E3, like, I didn't
say
think
it's
any
pretty
of the
even.
conferences were.
No one
Yeah, I didn't
stood
think
out.
any of the
really.
conferences were terrible. Like, I thought
No.
EA's was kind of meh, but that's because I don't care about sports games.
I liked EAs.
So
There's something we've missed as well. I have a super hard on for Anthem. Like, Anthem I'm super hyped over. Like, if that's what you...
I need some questions answered.
You
about
do.
it
There
before
is
I can get
questions,
too hyped.
but it made me
Oh,
feel
no.
like, hey, if this is what you killed Mass Effect for, I'm okay.
Worth.
I can understand.
I don't know. I still
Nah.
wish you hadn't have fucked up Mass Effect.
No.
Maybe.
That
Yeah,
would be useful.
I would have
Hey,
cared
it's called
more for a
Project Dylan's.
good Mass Effect game over Anthem.
Or you could have
Really?
waited for
Yeah.
Mass Effect.
Because don't you like Destiny? And Anthem basically looks like.
No, not to me.
Destiny
It-
Killer.
it's-
Destiny Killer. Also, if you...
It reminded me a lot of
watched through
Tribes,
all of our
actually.
reacts,
Hey.
It reminded me a lot of
Oh,
Tribes.
Tribes Ascension. Yeah, I like Tribes.
Oh, yeah.
Is anybody
Yeah.
would like to in the audience would like to go through our React videos and just write down how many quote unquote killers there were from Dylan? Every game seemed to be a this
Killing something else.
is a Destiny killer. This is this is a Guitar Hero killer.
Kill,
Like, oh my
Killzone 1 was a Halo killer, wasn't it?
No, wasn't that? What was that game? Haze? Was it Haze that was supposed to?
Oh, Haze was a PS3 launch game.
Haze
like,
was
it
PS3
No, it wasn't a
launch
launch
game.
game.
Yeah, Halo killer.
it was close, surely.
I think it was in the first year, but it
was
wasn't
terrible.
launch, yeah.
It was really bad. It was supposed to be the Halo killer.
Wasn't it about drugs?
Doesn't have
Like you took
trophies.
drugs in it?
Yeah, you took drugs to get better or something. Like you're
Just
You're
like
pretty
life.
much Bane. You take drugs to get better.
All right. To wrap up show with the last of the E3 questions. Now, of course, we're kind of missing Nintendo's conference, but we're not going to record this tomorrow since it's mainly a PlayStation-centric podcast. But E3 special nonetheless. We're just going to go through... Unless for some reason you reckon Nintendo could blow your mind tomorrow. Like
They
what,
could.
what was your...
Absolutely.
They could. It's
It's
to
been
be
kinda
left.
left
The
it
door
open
has
for
been
them,
left
yeah.
open. Like so I was
To
expecting.
be fair, they
They come out
could
with
come out,
Mario.
but
They come out
don't.
with Smash. They come out with some other big.
They don't
name.
do actual conferences, so they can get fucked. Come back to E3, Nintendo. do it
Miyamoto's
properly,
there.
fucks. Yeah, he's there with his fucking Mega Man guns walking out on stage. Let's go let's go game of the show, or like your just your overall from any of the things. Like I know Kieran's probably just gonna say Anthem, but
No, I'm not.
Ash?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, it's hard to
What was
go
your
past
favourite
Spider-Man. Just on that last note.
Spider-Man.
Hey,
Spider-Man.
Game of the show.
Yeah.
Voted by Ash. Alright, fair enough.
Yeah.
Alright, Kieran, if it's not Anthem. fuck is
It's
it?
a toss up. I'm gonna go with Wolfenstein just because that looks like it's almost finished and it's gonna be out sooner. But
It did look very
It was closely between Days Gone and Wolfenstein, but I'll pick Wolfenstein for it.
Also, Detroit looked good.
Nicholas. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh.
For pure emotion, it'd be Spider-Man, but I'm thinking maybe Metro for me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Metro did look really good.
Yeah.
Here's my question about Metro, because I haven't spoken to you about it. I don't think that was proper gameplay at all. So,
Well, don't
like,
kill my fuck.
Did you find that
You're
weird?
the fucking dreams killer.
No, I think after the sewers bit was proper gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think after that,
Mina
but the
Miracle
first, like,
wasn't there.
minute or two.
It reminded me a lot of the Stalker franchise, and I fucking love the Stalker games.
Yeah, I love the Stalker. I never finished any of them, but they were great games. They were also hard as fuck, so...
Maybe for scrubs
died
like you.
lots and lots. Yeah, well, sorry everyone.
And Battlefront
my
2.
game of the show
Honorable
is
mention.
Knack.
Oh, fuck off. Can we get a new host for this? Like, can we host a coup?
The,
You really just say
you're,
nah.
you're the Platinum Explosion audience killer.
Can you go to go join Colin's Last Stand, please?
Alright, sorry everyone. And since Jack just had something important to do and just left us all here, I'm going to
Monster Hunter.
say, oh, my game of the show's none because the show was shit, but I guess
He would put his
Wolfenstein.
He would've said
Wolfenstein
no.
was the best
Wolfenstein.
game.
AFL Evolution.
Sony 1 out of 10, Xbox 0.5 out of 10, EA 0 out of 10. If Nicholas is going to be happy this episode, then I've got to be the curmudgeon. But Wolfenstein looks pretty good, guys.
Duxie's the
also-
dog.
Jack?
I'm disappointed that there
Duxie's
weren't
a dog!
Plep, plep.
disappointed that there weren't enough underscores in the titles of games. Please bring more
Everyone
underscores.
Yeah, that's why he loves.
Alright,
that's
so
why Watch
I
Dogs so
have a-
good.
Underscores OG.
I have a hard decision picking my game of the show because the game I want to say got me most excited. they
It's
didn't
gonna
show
be
me
Rabbids.
gameplay.
It's gonna be Rabbids, isn't it?
No. All right. I'm gonna chuck this out there. The game that got me most excited is Beyond Good and Evil 2, but they didn't show any gameplay, so I feel hard saying that. But if you're just gonna go from like hype level, I'm gonna pick Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah.
But from a game that just showed me gameplay and was like most shocking to get me excited, Rabbids and Mario. What the fuck is going on, guys?
That
I
was
think
great.
to see this.
When you're looking
Why
at
do I want
it's
it so
just Final
much?
Fantasy Tactics, but with a Mario and
Yes,
Rabbids
but
skin. Like, it looks
Mario's
really
fun.
fun. I will say that
Do I want to? Do
Well,
I want
it's
to buy
just very
Switch for this
charming.
game? Yes. No.
Does it have
maybe.
Rayman
I
in it?
don't. I want to play it.
No.
no.
No, I don't. Fuck.
Because
All
isn't,
Rayman.
isn't Rabbids got something to do with
don't say
Rayman?
fuck Rayman. Rabbids killed Rayman pretty much. Like it was originally Rayman raving rabbits, and then
He was fighting the rabbits.
and then the next game
It was just rabbits.
Rayman's disappeared, and it was just rabbits, and
Yeah. So.
it makes me really
So,
sad.
So it's the
I have
Ubisoft
a weird
minions.
tie in my
Neglected.
head. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have a
pretty
weird
much.
tie in my head between. I literally have the weirdest tie between Days Gone and that fucking Rabbids game, and I'm just like, oh, they both look so good. They're completely different looking games.
I think that there's the criteria. My personal criteria for calling game of the show is what game is not going to have another chance to be game of the show, because we're going to see Days Gone next year, and we're going to see. I really hope we see Beyond Good and Evil 2 next year, but yeah, this. Will
I don't
be,
think they would
Okay,
announce
by
it.
that criteria, mine would be Middle Earth, Shadow of War.
I completely forgot Shadow of War.
Yeah, how did we forget that?
I completely
Where's the chopper?
Oh, he chop, mate.
Bruz,
Ooh.
bruz.
What a champ.
He says he's going to kill us all. My type of guy.
I fucking love that guy.
There's
He's
something
so
I want to
good.
ask you. For you lot who are really excited about Beyond Good and Evil, what made the first game so phenomenal in
The
your eyes?
characters,
The world? How far did you get through, Nick?
I think I got most of the way. Maybe it's because I didn't.
When did you try and play it? Like recently?
No,
or?
maybe around 2010, 2009 maybe.
Oh, so like when close to when it came out, I
Yeah.
guess.
On PC.
No, it didn't. It came
Well,
out.
closer than a couple years ago
Yeah.
is what I mean.
I only
But-
played it for the first time like last year, when it came.
really?
When it came to Xbox
PC?
exclusive, when it came to like the backwards compatibility stuff, that's when I played it through.
It
And
did,
really
I
enjoyed
don't know.
It
It just
was really
didn't grab me like it seems to have grabbed you too.
I think it still holds up as well.
Like I said, I'm not
the
saying
graphics
it's a
aren't
bad
amazing,
game, but I just for me it's not phenomenal.
It's the characters, it's the world, it's the combat was fun. I don't know. It was just everything. Like I remember playing it on on my PlayStation and just being like,
Well, now that you've had a little
fuck
bit of
is
time
this?
from it being announced, how do you feel that it seems like they're going in a completely different cast than the original game?
sure, I'll wait for that to be confirmed, but.
It certainly seemed like it, but how do you feel about that?
I mean, I saw Jade, but the part that turns me
That
off
isn't
is
Jade.
that
they-
isn't
wasn't
Jade.
Jade.
Is it?
That isn't Jade. They
Holy
showed in a
fuck.
trailer after it, like a thing I saw after it, where it was like the names of the characters next to their pictures. and
I thought they
hers.
changed her voice actor. Or
No,
something, like, made her look
she
even more
had a
emo.
name beginning with D. I think it was Devanya or something like that.
Sure, I'll
Jade.
take it. I don't care. I mean, she'll be in it. Probably. Even if she's not, no, I won't be disappointed because, I mean, once again, like the world and everything like that.
Yeah.
Plus, here's the other thing about that game. If you take away Beyond Good and Evil and just judge that trailer based solely on it, what a fucking... You'd
That
just
was
be
gorgeous.
like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, I know. He was like, what is this? This monkey's just like, fuck off, mate. Like, fuck you, cobber. Like, fucking... like, this fucking chimps just swearing. They're fighting cops. There's all sorts of weird shit going on. Like, if that wasn't a Beyond Good and Evil game, I'd still be like, what the fuck is this new IP? Like, I'm really excited.
Spoilers.
This looks like really interesting. It's not spoilers.
I haven't
It's
seen it
fucking
yet.
after E3 show. So yeah, I don't know. That's the trailer got me most hyped. But yeah, other than that, Days Gone looks amazing. Like technically, it just looks amazing, and the fucking Rabbids Mario game basically just looks to give me. Really makes me want to switch because I've wanted Final Fantasy Tactics for so long on my Vita or something like that. I've wanted a portable tactics game.
You
for so
can
long, and
get
I never
Final
got a good
Fantasy
one.
Tactics on your Vita.
Looks
A new
like
one.
I wanted a new one.
looks like it's Dylan's time to switch to the new generation.
Got it!
Got him.
You just
What a
switch out that
stitch up!
value.
Classic stitch up.
The classic stitch up, that one. And with that, I think we're going to wrap up the E3 special podcast issue of Platinum Explosion. Trophy unlocked for winning all the things. Fucking, everyone grab your fucking spin top things if you've got them.
Got it.
You mean
For
fidget
Jack,
spinners?
it's your boy. I love it. You can follow me on Twitter at Cruisy Mate.
No.
Oh, you sure? You sure it's not at Cruisy Mate? Is it at Cruisy_Mate?
Number one fan is
Try both.
that Cruisy, mate.
Oh yeah, and search for Jack's journals or something to watch those. He's got ones up from Kind of Funny Life. Ash, where can people find
You
you?
can find me at Twitter, Ashley Hobley, ASHLEY, Check out Reacts.
Ciaran.
You can find me at your boy Ringo, and hopefully streaming on Explosion Network at twitch.tv soon.
We might allow him to come
Might-
join
might-
our
might-
Twitch
please,
soon.
Please. Life is
Nick,
You can find me being generally happy in general, and on Twitter at Lord and Prior, PRIOR.
Well, in comparison
you
to
can-
Jack, you're always happy.
yeah, well, lately. You can follow me on Twitter at Vivaladil, VIVALADIL. You should head over to, for this particular episode, let's pimp, search Google or YouTube for Explosion Reacts. Bevan is in the profile picture.
It's blue.
He'll be like, hey, you should come watch our reacts. We've been recording for every conference, and I've been cutting out reacts to trailers from them, and you can go check out our initial impressions for stuff that we've talked about today and stuff that we haven't talked about. That'd be great. You should also head over to twitch.tv/Explosion Network, where all of us have been involved with streaming quite a lot recently.
Yes.
And that would be great, because this is a
It has
video
been a
game.
lot
And
of
if you want a
fun.
hint of how terrible we are, just check out us on Twitter at Explosion Pod, just to see Dylan lock himself outside with a Jason.
Oh,
I never
it's
said I was
Jason,
good at video games.
guys.
It's your boy, Jason!
Oh, he's Jason.
Have a good E3, everyone.
Bye.